I'm often told there are three types of gamers. The first, who never complain about anything and think everything is brilliant. The second, who complain about everything and hate just about every game out there except for like a select number of games. And then a third group who, while selective and critical of things, who can also look past the surface of certain games. A surface that may not appear to be so shiny and brilliant as other games. And that group of people, rather, seem to be able to channel something else that most gamers can't. They seem to be able to find games that people just kind of toss out and don't look at much or really review badly, and in this case that's a perfect example here. But they look at these games and they go, maybe it wasn't looked at in the right light. Perhaps the professionals didn't try hard enough. Or maybe everybody's just biased motherfuckers and I should be different. Whatever the case is, when I first fired up Vampire Reign, I didn't like it. I was agreeing 100% with the reviewers. But as I played it, I began to discover that there was a lot more here than meets the eye, and I know that's the most corny Transformers reference of all time, but it's the absolute truth in this case. So let's take a look. Okay, before we even go anywhere, the load times in this game suck. So if I'm going to agree with anything that anybody's ever said about this game, the load times are absolutely horrible. I mean, I don't want to wait here 40 million years. I want to play the fucking game. Come on, 360, go, move, load. And you're going to be even more pissed off when you see what it loads. Come on, you slow fuck. Jesus Christ. Thank God almighty.
I'll hold this position and wait for Hanson.
Alright, you can't tell here, but the visuals are not that bad. These videos really don't do any justice to most of the games I show. And this is one of the worst, this is like one of the worst cases here because you can't see most of anything going on, which is a shame because this game has some of the best rain you'll ever see in a video game. So if there's anything going for this game right off the bat, it's that it's got the best rain effects, bar none. What you're immediately going to notice is similarities from this game to Splinter Cell. And you're obviously going to draw parallels here. You have to. It's almost impossible not to. It's very similar to Splinter Cell to a certain degree, but it's not a complete rip-off either. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is just Splinter Cell Vampires. It's not just Splinter Cell Vampires. This is as if a horror game had sex with basically a covert ops stealth action game. And this is kind of the result. So, while I'm not a perfect unison, it created an interesting little offshoot that most aren't going to want to play. Now, what I'm doing here, and I'm sure this is going to annoy the hell out of a lot of people, is I'm showing that this game is actually very linear. You can't just go wherever you want. In fact, what I'm doing now is I'm basically representing what most gamers are going to do. They're going to think they have unlimited freedom. I can go wherever the fuck I damn well please because it's a video game and we're so used to every other game under the sun letting us do whatever we want but at the same time leading us, by the hand, like babies. This game is not designed for those gamers. This game is designed for one path. You are supposed to go one way. Now, we're going to watch basically as what would be the word? As I basically fuck around and get nowhere. And I could see why, a gamer could get frustrated after 5-6 minutes of this shit. But it's really very fucking obvious where you're supposed to go. There are many things that gamers don't take into account. First of all, there's a big-ass radar with a glowing thing on it. That's where I'm supposed to be headed, not where I'm going. But the problem is, you could very easily think, oh, well, I'll just go around, and this game does not allow that. Now, I'm sure about 100,000 people just said, well, that's bullshit. I should be able to jump off that rooftop. I should be able to launch some kind of grappling hook and swim across. Well, it's not that kind of game. Truth be told, this is a little limiting, this is a little frustrating in this day and age, but it is not a game killer in any such way. The only person it's going to kill the game for are the morons who think this is how this game is supposed to be played. And as you can see, this is very, very boring. I mean, you could literally fall asleep, and there's no music either, so that doesn't help. One thing you could definitely hear, though, is the rain. On a consistent basis, you'll hear thunder, lightning, and the rain falling. And it gets atmospheric at times, but at times it could put you to sleep, because that's all you ever hear. So here I am doing the same thing all over again, just wandering aimlessly. And I'm going to continue to do this, and this is to prove a point, because I've seen professional reviewers play this game, and this is exactly what they show. The same scenes over and over again, from the same fucking mission, 90% of the time. They're just showing the same crap we've already seen a million times. They don't ever show anything new. Later on, I'm going to show you how action-packed this game really is, or how action-packed it can get, to some degree. But for now, let's just watch how Moron will play Vampire Reign. And yes, I'm playing stupid on purpose. You'll see what I mean in a few moments. Okay, remember when I said it was so fucking stupid where you're supposed to go? Look down. There's Kelly, not 2 feet from where you started. All you gotta do is climb the ladder, go up the building, and drop down the side. She's right there. It's even indicated on the fucking radar. But I noticed something with the reviewers. They don't use their common sense. The people who play this game and bash it don't use any kind of common sense. So now action occurs. Wow, look at that. There's no action in Vampire fucking Reign, right? Bullshit! There's plenty of action, and let me tell you something. It's not a baby game either, because if you even miss once or twice, you are fucked. And it makes perfect sense, because you're not fighting human beings here. You're fighting fucking Nightwalkers, which are the equivalent of vampires on acid. However, the Reign does distill their power slightly, so you're given some opportunity to survive, but if you fuck up too much, they're gonna murder your ass. So, let's see if I can do this without fucking up, because sometimes, you know, even I screw up on scenes I've done a couple times, and I did this plenty of times, believe me. As you can see, I'm missing right here. It's pretty tense stuff, though.
That was pretty good.
And this is really cool, because if you blast their heads off, as you can see in this Vampire Vision thing I'm doing here. Alright, now I just fucking missed. Shit! But see, you're not dead. You're not fucked up yet. But see how caution is appearing on the screen? That means that everybody else in the radius just found out. And here he is. I did have time to run, and I did have time to flee, but unfortunately, surviving this part, as I was, is almost impossible. So, you die. And you're gonna die a lot in Vampire Reign. This doesn't ruin the game. This just makes it a hell of a lot more challenging than your average video game. And it expands the time to play by a lot, because once you die, you usually have to start over the entire sequence. But see, it's not punishing me by making me go back through the whole fucking part I did in the beginning, like climbing the ladder and shit. And I heard professional reviewers say exactly that. It's gonna penalize you to the point where you're not gonna want to play it. That's bullshit. You fucked up, go back, try again. This game actually reminds me more of older video games than newer ones. It adheres to old school logic, not this new school, oh, we're gonna start you off 5 seconds where you just were. Anyway, let's try this again and hope I can manage it. Like I said, it's not that easy to kill these things because they do move around. And I missed again. Fuck! Look, the game is not that hard, but I'm obviously playing like shit right now for God knows what reason. Anyway, I'm most likely gonna die, because, as I said, surviving this bit up here, if they get you, it's impossible. It's almost scripted in that sense. Alright, so I died again. Let's move on at this point. I'll show you some more of the sequences that come later on. Alright, now this is just a cool scene that I liked from this game. And we're still very early on in the game, believe it or not. We haven't even encountered the first boss yet. But I dug this scene because I didn't expect it at all. But it makes sense considering the theme of this specific mission. I seriously thought I was fucked. I thought I was going to have to fight this thing with a pistol. But thank God, Kelly took care of him. And that's just one of many cutscenes that you'll see throughout this game.
Are you okay?
But let's move on to a little bit something else. There's an interesting mechanic in this game where if you can find the Prime Walker or the Prime Vampire, like this person glowing yellow here instead of orange, if you can kill them, you practically kill every vampire in the radius or area.
Finish repairing the advanced team's command.
And this cutscene is really corny, so
Good job, Hanson.
let's fucking skip it.
Happy to be of service.
Fuck you, Hanson, you suck.
Underground parking area.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, look, the cutscenes aren't brilliant, people. It's not Shakespeare, but it's manageable. It has some twists here and there, but they're pretty much predictable.
Lloyd, I want you to search the area and take out any Nightwalkers
Now,
that you might find.
you heard that, right? Take them out.
Roger, Captain.
That means you're gonna fuck the Nightwalkers up. Now, I'm not gonna actually show you this sequence, because I don't want to spoil it for people who want to play this game, but despite what people claimed about not being able to kill vampires, that's a load of bullshit in the finest, because you actually will hunt these fuckers down later on. But in the beginning, you're told not to engage the Nightwalkers. In big, bold, red fucking letters, do not engage the Nightwalkers. What do you think that means? That means you don't fucking engage the Nightwalkers. Okay, let's move on to the club, one of my favorite sequences in this game. Actually, let's not move on just yet. I want to show people some more action from this game. Now, of course, yeah, I know I'm sniping. I know this isn't exact, you know, balls to the wall, John Woo, guns ablazing. They didn't say this was going to be Stranglehold people. They said this was going to be, like, tactical action. No, she just kind of noticed things. But what I'm trying to show you here is they cannot just instantly spot you. IGN, Game Trailers, everyone has said they could spot you by a 40-mile radius. They have inhuman senses. Blah, blah, fucking blah. It's all a load of cock and fucking bull. Because really, see how he's standing there kind of watching? But he ain't watching anymore because I blew his fucking head off. That's right.
I'm sending you updated coordinates.
Basically, throughout this mission, you're sent coordinates and you basically hunt down... Well, I just said basically too many times. Anyway, what you do is you hunt down the various night walkers in the area, and you're doing it by sniper. Most of this game you will spend on the rooftop, so get ready for that. Get ready to explore the rooftops. But here's one of those sequences I really got to show people, and this is why I took on this scene specifically. People have claimed up and down that these things can spot you a mile away. You obviously can see that Nightwalker there, right? And trust me, that's a Nightwalker, and that thing will kill you. However, pay close attention. This is how you play Vampire fucking Rain. First thing I did, I scanned the immediate area to see if anything was, like, logically visible. Can he actually spot me? His field of vision will actually appear on your radar at points, especially if he's anywhere nearby, he can spot you. Now, I'm not exactly crawling through here, but I'm kind of moving at a nice, decent, slow pace. Anybody who played Splinter Cell knows this pace very well. It's called sneaking up and not fucking getting caught. Or the not getting caught maneuver, as it's been quoted as. Just ignore that. Ignore any little twitches and shit I'm doing, because I want to make sure I don't die for this part. But, you know, it's not impossible, as I'm about to show you. I'm just taking my time, trying to see if I can actually sneak past him or not. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, but let's find out. Let's see if there's a method to this madness I've been screaming and yelling about how reviewers are full of fucking shit. Now, I'm pretty goddamn close to this thing. Superhuman abilities. Uh-oh, it's going to spot me, right? No, it's not. You see, kids, IGN, game trailers, and everybody else pretty much fucking lie to you flat out. These fucking Nightwalkers are not superhuman. They do not spot you in 5 seconds. They only spot you if you stand in front of them the entire fucking time. So to all those professional reviewers, I have one word. Incompetence! They fed you a load of cock and bullshit. Anyone who said this game was bad played it like a fucking retard. The only thing that's bad is minor control faults like what I just experienced there. And that's not enough to sink this game down to a 3.4 or whatever the fuck professionals were giving it. Also, note something. He is the prime of this area. What does that mean? That means I should fucking kill him. But, uh-oh, should I even run the risk? Could he possibly spot me? What do you think? You see up to this point that I can handle myself in this game, and we all know I don't play too many games all that well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fucking kill him. Now everybody's going, oh no, Armic, don't do it. You're going to die because Game Trailers, IGN, GameSpot, and every other review under the sun said this game sucked. Well, I got news for you. There were a few reviewers who gave this game good points. One thing is that aside from some glitches, and I'm going to try to demonstrate that if I can, because if you're too close to a wall, you'll just kind of hit the wall instead of the person you're aiming for. Oh, did we see that? If that wasn't intense, I don't know what was. I killed him in real time as he bum rushed my ass. Okay, now, let's move on to the fucking club. Oops, sorry, I lied again. Alright, this is after the footage has been shot and after the recording. This is the first time I'm actually doing this where I'm talking after I've done, you know, all the work involved. And I just want to say this. While some of these parts may be boring and you may be thinking, oh, well, this looks like a generic action game, it really never claims to be anything but something interesting to play where you hunt down vampires, basically, and it's a covert ops game at the same time. This game is actually a ton of fucking fun to play. It's suspenseful as hell, and you could get lost, and you could navigate around, you know, and you could basically not have a good time, but if you use your brain and think about what's going on, you'll have a blast with this game, and it's plenty action-packed, and as you could just hear if you caught the audio glimpse real fast, something's going down. Now I'm going to prove the reviewers wrong yet again. The claim was you couldn't use any of your guns in this game because they're fucking useless. They don't kill enemies. They're just, you know, they serve no purpose except to distract. And they do serve that purpose. Don't think that you can't distract your enemies or shoot birds away or something in case you have to. I don't want to give anything away, but later on you'll be using that method a lot. But we're getting up to one of those sequences that basically for me defines what an action game is. Lots of fucking shooting. But not done in, like, again, a John Woo sense. More of that tactical sense, but, you know, there's no hiding anymore. Where the fuck are you gonna hide? You just busted into combat. And yeah, that was just load time right there. And yes, I'm in-game now. Oh, look, the machine gun. This can't possibly kill a damn thing, right? Wrong. Shoot them enough, and aim for the heads, and you will kill them. This sequence is actually pretty cool because while they're bum rushing you forward, your teammates can miss consistently, and I've had them fly through the on top of cars and shit and try to kill me, and I took them out. I've done this like 5 times now, because I played through these sequences many times trying to get a high ranking. That's a cool thing. You can play through this game trying to get a higher rank than before. Anyway, that's just one example of these sequences that last maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, give or take, but are packed with action. And they get better. They usually involve shotguns and things like that kill Nightwalkers in one shot. More about shotguns coming up. After the commander shuts his fucking trap. Oh look, the command vehicle drove off. If I hate one thing about this game, it's hearing about that fucking command vehicle. Okay, now we are officially going to the club. Finally, it's about time, huh? We get to the real meat of this game. Okay, one thing that a lot of reviewers bitched and moaned about was navigating indoors environments and the fact that they all look the same. Yeah, the crappy apartment complexes you raided at the beginning of the game look the same, but this is actually a very interesting little vista right here. And yes, that is the first boss. And I'm not going to lie to you, the bosses in this game are pretty much a joke. I'll show you what I mean in a bit, but they're rudimentary. They remind me of like basic Nintendo enemies, which again takes you back to the fact that this game feels more like old school than new school. Or like it's got a mix of both new generation and old generation going on for it.
You almost bought it, Hanson.
But this is actually an amusing little cutscene. Hanson, like, I think he just really wants to suck on the commander's cock in the worst way. He's like the biggest kiss ass, in my opinion.
They probably want to make sure nobody hears the screams of the victim.
Because he came here to just tell him that. And that's it. What the fuck? Even what's his name's gonna mention that.
To know that any gunfire won't be heard outside this building.
You came all the way to tell us that?
Listen to this.
Okay, thanks, Hanson. Now get back to your post.
Just brushing his ass off. I love how he orders Lloyd around and Lloyd's the only one who really does anything. That's what cracks me up. And there's scenes I haven't shown you, like really viciously violent sequences. There's some serious gore in this game that I'm not going to spoil for people who want to play this and enjoy it. But this game can be quite violent. You find that other command team later on, and it's pretty nasty. Signposts going through people's bodies and stuff. Actually, I probably shouldn't show it on here, because it's a little too graphic, I think, even for YouTube standards. But yeah, this game is M-rated for a reason, and not for language, which is nice for a change that they're not saying the F-word every 5 minutes. Like I do every fucking minute. Now, what's his name can't shut the fuck up. So, let's speed this up a little. So all he's basically saying is that there's a thing, and they can activate the water, and it's artificial rain, and blah blah blah. You'll find out when you play it, because I expect people to pick this one up after this review, because I'm basically showing you that most of what the reviewers complain about is actual bullshit. This is very cool and very tense stuff right here. Again, I'm going to prove that these guys are not superhuman, and that they can't sense everything. Now, we don't have rain, do we? Ignore this. I'm just double-checking my inventory here to make sure I have the UV knives. UV knives, which people complained about because it's a knife with one use. Once you use it, it's gone. Of course it's going to be gone. It fires up a UV ray that shatters the knife inside of the body of the fucking Nightwalker to completely annihilate it. I mean, no fucking shit. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that the knife is going to be disposable at that point. It doesn't work. It only works once. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem to make much logical sense when you're used to using a knife throughout the entire game and stuff like Metal Gear Solid 3 or whatever, if you want to go into another stealth game that has knives. But it makes sense in this game. Now, this is really, really not difficult at all. And I've seen people die at this point. All you gotta do is wait for him to go from one side to the other and sneak past him. He can't see you. He's not gonna just turn and spot you on a dime. I'm basically demonstrating how most people who played this and reviewed this are incompetent asswipes. And that includes anyone, even people I know, who came over to my house and played this, didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I had to show them, and once I showed them, I'm like, wow, this ain't so bad. So all we gotta do is sneak past them. And if I'm gonna complain about one thing in this level, one thing entirely, it's that god-awful fucking music. What is that techno-drabble bullshit playing in the background? Also, you know, just doing my usual checks. I play this game pretty slow and static with a pace, but if you want to get the best rating, you really got to blaze through the levels as fast as possible without getting spotted once and getting every shot, like, absolutely perfect. But, I'm not too worried about showing you rating here. I'm sorry. And I know this is like, oh, well, we're just sneaking around again. Would you just get to the fucking action already, Armake? I'm working on it, okay? I'm playing this in real time and talking to you. It's not like I can just jump ahead. Oh, wait, I can do that. Whoops. My apologies for that. You know what it is? I can do basically record vocals before and after. I keep forgetting I can do that. I like to do everything on the fly. Okay, I'm going to swap back to what I recorded when I was playing. Okay, so that took a really long fucking time, but I managed to do it. And I don't know why it took me so long, but, I was taking my sweet-ass time, and I shouldn't because I know I'm recording for this. But anyway, we're going to kill him, and now we just use the UV knife. As you can see, the thing did basically explode. The problem is Lloyd put it back in his little backpack thingy, and it makes no sense. I think what it was is they fucked it up with the animation or something, because they should have just had the knife explode, because that's what it does. Playing further into this game, you'd note that, but, most people haven't gotten past this part, or even up to this part, so it's kind of hard to bring about the next pieces. But basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get to that door that was very clearly indicated in the cutscene previously. It's trickier now, though, because, as I showed before, there's a guy below who can see you, and he will spot you if you stand up. That's one of the instances where the enemies will get an indication, of where you're standing and your location. However, he's not just going to leap up here and murder my ass. He's got to see you for at least 3 to 4 seconds. You've got to be in clear visible range. So here's another dumb shit that I'm going to fucking execute in a moment, if I can manage it. But again, you have to be very careful and very... There you go. See that? That's a warning that I've just been spotted. But there's no warning indication coming on, is there? That's because you're not just going to get busted in 5 seconds. Again, they cannot just immediately jump up and kill you, as was claimed many, many times. They have to basically notice you're there and basically become aware of your presence, and then they start looking, and then the warning occurs. And you can hide in the warning sequences. It's tough. It borderlines on impossible at times, but it is possible. And I had them leap all over the fucking place looking for me. They're not as smart as people claimed. Now, you have to move really fucking slow at these points, because these guys, like I said, there's no rain, so they're really in tune. However, you can fuck them up, and you're gonna, as they burst into a million fucking pieces. The most annoying thing about this game is probably the fact that once you kill them, they turn into this melted, bubbly acid shit on the ground over there. And you can't walk on it, so let's just kill a few moments here. Now he turned around, that piece of shit. Dumbass, making me fucking hot on my ass all over the place. Again, on the scripted nature of this game, he's probably going to be turning and facing me. Or maybe not. That's weird. Usually he's facing directly in my direction. I guess it's not this time. Then again, there's more than one guy. There's also that guy walking around, and there's another guy on the other side just kind of standing there smoking cigarettes, looking really doofy. But we're almost there. We're getting there. I know this is taking, like, fucking forever, but again, this is a stealth action game. It's not exactly, a run and gun, but it's going to turn into that action in a few moments. Which is weird because it's an off balance, and you're not expecting it, most likely. But you should have guessed by the fact that there's a shotgun on the ground, which you can load into your Belimi, or whatever the hell it's called. And the music also changed, as you noticed just now. Now, a good indication of violence coming up here, if I recall right, anyway. Gotta like that. Now, she just noticed me, so that's no good. Let's take care of this fat fuck real fast. Yeah, I'm not gonna shotgun, because if you shotgun, you run a chance of giving away your fucking location. It's also just not smart in general, because you want to conserve ammunition. It's not like I'm packing 65,000 bullets here. This is quite a conserve your ammo type game. But okay, just to show you a hint of how violent this game really can be, because a lot of people say, oh, it looks the same, the textures suck, blah, blah, blah. You'll see limbs all over the place. I don't want to spoil anything, but it gets real nasty later on. Even before this, there's parts that are really nasty. Again, that command team, that is disgusting stuff. Okay, now all hell's officially about to break loose.
The sprinkler system's on.
As they're indicating right here. Yeah, of course.
Finished installing the ultraviolet mine.
The ultraviolet mines are what you're going to use to fucking
Over here ASAP, Lloyd.
basically just kill the boss. And it's pretty retarded, I'll admit. Now, again, I'm taking my sweet-ass time, but you really could have run and killed everything in this fucking part if you wanted to. But it's smart to take your sweet time because of things like this. As you'll see after the cutscene. Fucking cutscenes, man. Come on, I want to kill stuff already. There really was no reason to show a pan of that. That's why I'm going slow. And tell me that does not look cool, because to me that looks fucking awesome. But again, see that acid? Now I have to wait, so that's more time I'm wasting. So there are some annoyances here and there, but it's not the end of the fucking world. Anyway. As soon as it goes away, hurry the fuck up! That and the fucking load time on occasion is probably the most annoying thing in this entire game. Now you notice I'm not really going very slow. I'm still crouched down, though. Now I'm just gonna fucking gun it. To hell with this shit. And it's actually kind of random, because I've had fucking Nightwalkers just jump... Yeah, there we go. Fucking knew it. Fucking ass. I'll blow his ass to Kingdom Come. Yeah, disintegrate, motherfucker! Alright, anyway. Doing this the smart way since I got bum rushed the last time I did it like that. Always covering your 6, checking things out. Kind of like a Rainbow Six-ish feel to things here, to some degree. And once we get downstairs, I believe once you get downstairs, if there's not another fucking... I knew it. Yeah, he's wasted. The shotgun is pretty much a one-hit, one-kill wonder. And I just love the sound of it and the impact it makes on these things. And that melting effect in the graphics is probably the coolest thing in this entire game. And now we gotta do is get downstairs, and then we're gonna face off against the boss, who... pretty much a joke. Like, the biggest joke that ever walked.
Looks like we've got company.
And this is the first time...
Follow me. We'll take out the ones.
It happened, and later on, and I don't want to spoil anything, but this is the first time you're ever gonna fight someone in this game who has a weapon. And later on, it gets intense. This is pathetically easy. This is probably the biggest joke in the entire game. This boss fight is just a laugh riot for me. And if I had the Benny Hill theme, I'd probably cue it as I fought this fucker, because this is just plain stupid. All you have to do is evade his shots, which are pretty easy to do, but you can fuck up, because spinning around and around and around can make anybody nauseous. All you gotta basically make him do is walk him into these mines on the floor, and I'm gonna cut around this if I can when I'm done. Okay, cutting to the chase, I'm speeding this up, but you can basically still get a glimpse of what the fuck you're supposed to be doing here. It's annoyingly stupid, and I'm gonna really say right now, this is probably my least favorite moment in the game. These boss fights are just... they're a joke. And you'd think, because you're up against someone with a gun, it'd be something a little bit more difficult, but it's not. And also, note that I just ran out of basically ammo for one of my guns. Thank God I found some. But yeah, all you gotta do is lead him into these little things on the floor, and, you know, that's it. And he gets more powerful, and I have no idea why it's subtitled Yell, which is another stupid thing. But this game has its moments that will just stupefy you, but at the same time, it's got its moments that will really become entertaining and enjoyable. But right now, I'm not doing any damage. Finally, I'm doing some fucking damage. And let's cut away and let's finish this since I'm running out of time, and this is not going to fit on YouTube.